Morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the June 26th, 2025 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here?
Here.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
No, sir.
Approval of minutes of the meeting of June 12th, 2025.
Motion to approve those minutes.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bid openings, quotes for first the guardrail for Howard and Ridge. And it looks like we have one quote for that, and it's from Specialties Company LLC. And that quote is $18,500. Once again, that's from Specialties Company LLC, and the quote is $18,500.
You could refer to the consultant for recommendation, please.
Okay, you want to do this, do them separately? So do this one, right? Okay.
Okay. Motion to refer this to the consultant for review.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now for signing and striping for Willow and State, and it looks like I have two quotes for that one. The first one is from Hawk. And their quote is $7,100. Again, that's from Hawk Enterprises, $7,100. The second quote is from High Star Tracy. And their quote is $6,072.
I should sort of describe what we're doing here. I should have done that on the earlier one too. So Willow and State is underneath the NICTY line. It's been causing repeated problems with vehicles departing the roadway. There's a wiggle, so to speak, in Willow Court, right at State Street. And so we're just trying to provide more visibility. I know that IHB was out there a couple of weeks ago replacing the diamond, and they removed our barricades, so I'm trying to get those restored. But that's still a problem for us right there. We may end up looking at a better long-term solution, but this was designed by Nice Engineering so that we could try to make that safety improvement to keep people from departing the roadway. The earlier one was a request from a resident on Howard at Ridge Street, where vehicles don't make, eastbound vehicles don't make the right-hand turn onto Howard. They miss the turn and go straight. So he's asking for guardrail to be installed there. So we wanted to get quotes and see if that would work out in this case. So that's sort of where we're going with those two items. So refer the Willow Court and State to the consultant for recommendation, please.
Motion to refer this matter to our consultants for review and recommendation.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Anybody? Okay, moving on to correspondence. Number 7, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the following officers to be promoted to the rank of first-class patrolman: Jonathan Reichelt, Shantae Taylor Payne, Samuel Valdez, Jacob Hood, and James Armstrong, all with pay adjustments to be made effective July 11th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, correspondence received from Bernard Gazzolia, Fire Chief, requesting the following promotions and reassignments: Paramedic Alexander Bellagio to be reassigned to the rank of private effective June 17th, 2025. EMT Ruben Gonzalez to be promoted to the rank of paramedic effective June 17th, 2025. Private Michael Anguiano to be promoted to the rank of EMT effective June 18th, 2025, and Private Samuel Gonzalez to be promoted to the rank of EMT effective June 17th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter C, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval for the request from Indiana Harbor Belt to close Indianapolis Boulevard at the IHB Railroad Crossing starting June 30th, 2025 to July 4th, 2025, submitted for approval.
So my request to you is to approve the road closure and detour form that's required by NDOT. So as we all know, Indianapolis is Indiana 152, which is a state route. We don't have jurisdiction on whether that can be opened or closed. IHB is replacing that track crossing, level crossing, just north of 165th Street. So the primary detour is 165th to Calumet to Chicago. That's the primary detour. I was concerned about folks that missed the southbound trip. You know, if they miss at Chicago, they would continue south on Indianapolis Boulevard, get to Summer, and then they would go eastbound, left turn eastbound onto Summer to 165th, and then a right turn back to the boulevard on 165th. So we need your concurrence for the local detour. So we're asking for your approval of that form, and the notification is really just a matter of record of the closure.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Letter D, correspondence received from Dean Button advising that NDOT will be closing Willow Court under Calumet Avenue for 2 weeks for bridge painting beginning June 23rd, 2025.
So that work is ongoing. Willow Court, underneath Calumet Avenue, they're painting the bridge.
So no action necessary?
Already doing it.
Well, I
Already
mean, we
doing
need to
it.
recognize the closure, so if you could approve it, yes. But it's ongoing. We're closing our local street so that the painter can work. Obviously, it's already started, right, because it was the 23rd. So ask for your approval.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of $56,744.51 of CIB funding be allocated for the Little Calumet River Trail Pedestrian Bridge Project, change order number 1, and corresponding change order.
So this is a litany of items that are included in the change order, as you see in the correspondence. Long time coming, right? They had some undercut because they had unsuitable soils underneath the bridge that they, had to take out. They've accumulated. We're just now getting around to getting close to final payment. So I expect this to be the only change order we have unless we have a balancing credit change order later. It was approved by the Capital Improvement Boards a week ago Monday for funding, and so I'd ask for your approval of both the change order and the funding allocations.
Motion to approve.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter F, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of $20,000 of CIB funding to be allocated for the Grand Avenue pedestrian bridge and the corresponding professional service agreement with Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley.
This is really for grant coordination. Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley has been helping us with grant coordination on Governor's Parkway, so it seemed logical to have them help us with the Grand Avenue pedestrian bridge, just in light of the grant, because it's a federal grant. We want to make sure we're in compliance with all the federal requirements. CIB approved this a week ago last Monday, and I'd ask for your approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Letter G, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of $9,980 of CIB funding be allocated for the regrade swell on JF Mahoney Drive and corresponding professional service agreement with Nees Engineering.
There was a complaint, internal concern that the 5th District Supervisor had about being able to clear the ditch line because it was really overgrown. So we want to make sure we get the grades right. Nees helped us with a previous project on JF Mahoney Drive, so we think that's, they have some survey already done, so they need to do additional survey, and we'd ask for your approval. Capital Improvement Board approved the funding 2 weeks ago.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Letter H, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of $35,167 of CIB funding to be allocated for the traffic signal at Sportsplex change order number 1 with Milestone Contractors North LLC and corresponding change order.
There's two items on there. One is, the bulk of it is a request by Lieutenant Godey to install conduit from 167th to 165th and tie into the Sportsplex for video surveillance. The other one was the right-in, right-out that's opposite of Petros. That had to be extended because we were narrowing that segment of Indianapolis Boulevard. So we had do some additional work. The original plan was to cut that off completely, but we couldn't do that in light of what the YMCA is doing. So that'll happen sometime in the future where we,
So will that ever be cut off, or that's all?
oh yeah,
it
the
will
intent is
eventually?
for it to be completely cut off because that drive aisle won't go straight all the way
gotcha.
through to Food for Less.
Okay,
The YMCA expansion will move north through the west of the two retail buildings. So that hill drive will be completely blocked when they do their expansion. At that time, that drive will no longer be necessary.
okay.
So the change orders for those two items to make improvements to that pork chop, and CIB approved that 2 weeks ago.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Letter I, correspondence received from Controller's Office requesting the approval of the renewal of amusement device license for McGing's Pub and Grub.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter J, correspondence received from Ron Novak requesting the approval of the proposed license agreement renewal with Do-All Village Incorporated and its representative, Enviro Forensics LLC, granting access to city property adjacent to 837 Hoffman Street to monitor the soil and groundwater.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Novak.
This is a continuation of an agreement. The remediation has been completed, but there's an item monitoring requirement. They need access not only to the property, but also to city right-of-way. And this is an item requirement that in order to complete the remediation and verify that it has been effective. So I recommend approval.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter K, correspondence received from Brian Miller, Director of Public Safety, Purdue University Northwest, requesting permission to have outdoor music on August 20th through 22nd, 2025, for their move-in day activities until 10 p.m. with police presence. Yeah,
Yeah, they do it every year.
us and them. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter L, correspondence received from resident Armando Alvarado, 1150 Truman Street, requesting to place a street sign or paint the concrete next to the driveway due to cars blocking his ability to pull in and out of his driveway. Yeah, refer it to you.
I think that's normally referred to Public Works. They have a procedure where they paint the curbs,
Okay.
and they do it themselves.
Okay.
Right, we don't let the resident or the property owner do that.
Okay,
So we don't have to review that other than just send it to Public Works for,
okay,
if you agree that
Yeah,
could
that's-
be done.
yeah.
Okay, thanks.
okay.
Motion to forward this to Public Works for follow-up.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter M, correspondence received from Jasmine Diaz, 4827 Pine Avenue, requesting to block the street on July 4th, 2025, from 3 p.m. until midnight with signatures attached. Yeah. There's signatures,
Okay.
so.
Motion to approve with the exception that this must conclude by 10 p.m.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter N, correspondence received from Trina Lee Schultz, 904 Cherry Street, requesting to block off the street of Rhode Avenue for a birthday party on July 12th, 2025, from 1 a.m. until 6 p.m. I'm guessing that's p.m. We're gonna change that from 1 PM to 6 PM, because that would be a long party. With the signature of only one resident, it would affect.
Okay. Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter O, correspondence received from New Community Baptist Church requesting street closure of Madison Street between 169th and Cherry for their Family Fun Festival, with setting up from 9 AM until 2 PM. Let's see here. July 26th, on Saturday, July 26th.
Yeah, it's only a half a block, right?
Yep. Okay.
Okay, motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter P, correspondence received from Raquel Welch, Wolf Lake Pavilion Coordinator, requesting approval to hold a commercial firework display on Thursday, July 3rd, 2025, on the island of Wolf Lake Memorial Park, beginning at approximately 10:30 to 11 PM. The vendor will be Mad Bomber Fireworks Production.
Motion to approve.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter P. Oh, no, did better. Letter Q, sorry. A lot of letters.
Taking a hit today.
Correspondence received from Jolene Dioyos, Adrian would be proud, requesting to block the 4400 block of Baltimore on July 4th, 2025, from 8 AM until 10 PM with signatures attached.
Motion to approve.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Wow. Page 3. Number 8, matters from other board members. Anything?
Not a thing.
Not a thing, sir.
Perfect. Okay, new business, number 9, letter A, demolition hearings. Letter A, 6740 Indianapolis Boulevard, Popeyes.
All right, to the board, good morning.
Good morning.
We've got some updated photos along with a binder for the board, if I could approach with that.
Yes.
Kevin, I had made notice that yesterday also for the growth.
Okay.
Know what this
We're gonna,
drive-
let me set the record if I could on all these demos real quick.
Okay.
So, the agenda lays forth the addresses for the demolitions that are up today under the Unsafe Building Act. For the record, I want to inform the board that notice has been given to all owners or those with a substantial property interest via certified mail, regular mail, publication, and posting on the premises. Therefore, notice has been properly given on these. The request by the Enforcement Authority, which is Mr. Kearney as Chief of Inspections, is to affirm his order of demolition on these properties unless otherwise indicated. And so, given the condition of the properties as they currently exist, they qualify as an unsafe building under the Act, and that is the basis for our request, along with the evidence we presented to the board, which is in the binder, and any testimony that we give today from either the inspectors or others. So, beginning, Mr. President, with 6740 Indianapolis Boulevard, that is the old Popeyes on the boulevard. They should be tabbed there. I hope you have the right. Okay, okay, you are, okay. And then you've got some updated photos in your hand from Inspector Hawkins, who's also here today, if you need any additional information. As you know, I'm not sure if anyone's here on this property. Popeyes? No? Okay. There was a fire about a year ago, but unfortunately nothing's happened on this property since that time. It remains vacant and in disrepair. The gas meter's been pinned and the water has been shut off since that fire. So it's our request that this be affirmed. I don't know if Mr. Litter has anything else on that.
Yes, actually I do. I spent some time on the phone with Rudy Cuellar, who is the code compliance legal person for Popeyes Corporate. This property, or Popeyes does every 5, 7, 10 years, whatever they do a rebranding of their stores. This particular store was not set for the rebranding at this time. So there was a long discussion between franchisee, franchisor, insurance, trying to determine if they were going to rebuild the store as it was and then come back in like 2-3 years and rebrand it, or rebrand it now. I believe that agreement has been made. We had a contractor in the other day with a contract for upwards of $800,000 to do the work on the property. So I know I spoke with Chief Kearney as I came in, and I emailed Kevin yesterday. My recommendation would be we enter the order, we just keep this on like a short 45-day status over the next couple months to see how they proceed.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar to when we get into a situation with the bank and an owner or a third party and the owner. I mean, in this case, it's franchisor or franchisee, right? We don't get in the middle of those fights. We do what we need to do to protect the city and to make sure that any building that's in an unsafe condition be either knocked down or fixed up. And so I have no problem with Mr. Luter's recommendation that we affirm the order based on the condition of the property, and then we set it for a status perhaps for, let's say 30 days, if that's good, or did you say 45? Bill?
45, we'll split that 90 in half.
But I mean, it's not going to stop us from entering the order, and we're going to bid it out if we need to, so.
I don't understand what rebranding means. What are they going to start selling hamburgers or
No,
something?
no, they update
I get
their
it, but it's
signage.
the same
They're-
place. It's going to
Exactly.
sell chicken again. I mean, I don't understand.
If you go to Popeyes at 6th, 7th and the Boulevard, you see one, but if you go to Popeyes up on
I think that's
up on
a
the north
fancy
side,
word for fixing it up.
fixing
I
up,
do too,
changing the
but,
signage,
yeah.
updating things, bringing, kind of refreshing, yeah, kind of
I
like
don't like
McDonald's
the way
every
that they
20
make
years
us- they
changes
make us
their arches.
Contact them. Why haven't they been in contact with us?
Right, we've had citations out, everything. They actually did finally reach out, I think, based on the citations and the,
I got you.
and the demo
Okay.
notice, but
So
yeah.
45 days
Yeah, we'll do 45
and affirm
days.
the order.
August 7th
Is August 7th okay?
or 14th.
Fine,
August, okay, so August
but,
7th is fine.
you know, I guess Mr. Luter is going to have to notify the owner. I mean, we'll send a letter out as well, but, yeah.
Because they'll have to post a bond too, right?
If they enter a rehab.
Okay.
But at this point, there's no suggestion for that. I mean, I think it's one of those things, Mr. Kalina, that if they go ahead and do the plans through building and they're approved and everything's good down there,
Okay.
then we could entertain waiver of the bond, but I hear what you're saying. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. At this point, we're moving forward with demolition. So,
Okay, all right, thank you.
Motion to affirm and set this for status for August 7th, 2025.
thanks, Bill.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to letter B, 4913 Pine, the garage only.
Yes, 4913 Pine. I've got some updated photos for you there that I received from Inspector Castro. This property is owned by the Hansons, who live on Elm Street. I don't know if they're here today. I don't see anybody here on this property.
Actually, the owners are deceased.
Okay, they are deceased. You're right, Rich. I just saw that note. Thank you.
Yes.
We sent the notice to Elm Street, which is where the daughter lives.
Correct.
Thank you. So it's vacant. You can see this condition. It's pretty poor. We would request, given the hole in the roof and the condition of the property, that the order be affirmed.
Yes, last year's windstorm knocked down the tree next door onto their garage, and they don't have the funds or the capabilities of fixing it or repairing it.
Okay.
Motion to affirm.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter C, 3928 Torrance, the garage only.
Yes, I think Mr. Castro, or Inspector Castro gave us some updated photos showing self-demolition.
Yep.
So I don't believe at this time there's anything to move forward on. I would request that the order be dismissed.
Yes, there were permits pulled, they're just waiting for final inspection on the permit.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to dismiss.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, 6918 Van Buren Avenue, the garage only.
Yes, garage on this property. This is, I believe, in the 4th District.
We have an owner coming up behind you, sir.
Oh, here we go. I show that the property is owned by Richard Delgado with the Griffith address. The garage appears to be in significant disrepair, although it does appear to have a new door, but the roof, siding, and soffit are all failing and in considerable need of repair. I don't know if we can show you, Mr. Delgado?
Yes.
Okay, let me show you some pictures here.
You want the book or you want these? Okay.
This is the garage. Okay. So, given the condition of the property, Mr. President and the board, we'd request that the order to demolish be affirmed. And, of course, you have the right, Mr. Delgado, to present any evidence you have and address the board.
I just want to say I'm pursuing demolition of the building myself.
You're going to do it yourself?
I've reached out to Cornejo Demolition with a quote of $2,800.
That's company rep, okay.
And I also talked to fence masters to fence off that empty space, but their scheduling is 4 to 5 weeks behind. So I'll need time to handle that.
Would Cornell take 4 to 5 weeks as well?
No, I believe they can work anytime I need them to.
Okay.
Do you know when that's going to be?
When I get the financing together, so shouldn't be too long.
Can you give us some kind of estimate on time?
I'd say a week.
A week? So do we need a status at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of the board's pleasure at this point. I mean, I generally like to enter an order. However, this is a garage only, and so I hate to have to record the order and then release the order. It just costs us money to record and release. So, but at the same time, I don't want to give too long of a leash on this. I mean, if you want to set it for status for next week or 2 weeks, you know, I'm fine with that. And then if the permits have already been pulled and it's coming down, then I'm good. If not, I want to enter the order at that time.
Okay, so Mr. Delgado, normally we would affirm the order, which we don't want to do if you have any intention of taking the garage down. So we're going to set a status from 2 weeks from today that we'll need you back here to let us know the work's been completed. You gave us an estimate of 1, we're going to give you 2 just to be safe, okay?
Okay.
So you're good, you're clear on that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to have you back in 2 weeks. Please get the garage taken down in that time, and then we won't have to re-enter the order.
Okay.
Or enter the order, sorry.
So no action at this time. We'll set the matter for status for July 10th, 2025.
I second.
July 10?
10, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
What was it?
You said.
Yeah, I just,
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Delgado.
Thank you.
Let's see. Here. Okay, letter B, notice of violation hearing for 4126 Toll, the rear house. Hi, Chris, how you doing? Good.
That's what we just did.
We did that one. Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry, Mr. President, we got you.
Go ahead, Chris.
Huh?
I said, go ahead, sorry about
Okay.
that.
All right. So myself and Inspector Castro inspected this property on May 28, 2025, and we found that the rear house had a studio basement apartment that existed a while ago but was not being rented, but we wanted to get in there and verify it was still there. So the ceiling height measured at under 7 feet, had glass block windows and no fire separation, so we request that the board affirm the removal. The property boss management company is already in the process of getting it removed themselves, so we just need the board's approval.
We always like hearing that, so. Yep,
Motion to affirm the order.
And I second.
all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Letter C, C-Click Fix requesting a neighborhood watch sign in front of 7406 Alcott be replaced, will children at play sign.
No objection.
I don't have any either, so.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter D, funding allocation request form requesting $25,000 of the Third District Gaming Fund to be allocated for the Park Gaming Fund 2449 Festival of the Lakes.
That's just a fund number that,
Okay.
that's okay.
Fund 2449 Festival of the Lakes and $25,000 of the Third District Gaming Fund to be allocated for the tree removal in the Third District submitted for approval. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, just, I gotta make sure I'm at the right one.
Motion
Yeah.
to approve.
Right here.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, order to rescind and release order to demolish property located at 4626 Johnson Avenue submitted for approval.
for the board, again, I know this has been a long meeting, I don't want to delay it any further, but I do want to just once again emphasize the importance of the work you all do and that the inspections department does, and explain to you what happened on this property. This was a property that was demolished a while ago, and a lien was placed on it, both for the demolition order amounts, which is usually in the hundreds of dollars, and then the demolition lien amount, which of course is usually in the thousands of dollars, whatever it costs. The new owner, Mr. Johnson, came in, talked to Linda. He wants to build a new home on the property, paid off both liens, so that means that money goes back into the demolition fund for the city. It's a vacant lot. It was a eyesore in the neighborhood, knocked it down, and now it's ready to go for a new home. So again, I just want to thank the board and the inspections department for the work they do, because this is another success story, and I would request that the order to rescind and release be approved.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter F, first extension of agreement to rehabilitate property located at 607 State Street, submitted for approval.
I think this is just the fact that it wasn't signed before, but it should be signed now. Mr. Garris, I think.
No, looks like
607.
Garris? Oh,
Yeah, Garris, yeah,
Yep.
Paul Garris.
Yep.
And then so, this is that like commercial structure, he wants to put a coffee shop in there, it looks pretty good on the outside, he's gonna work on the inside. Is there already a status date for this, Linda, set? Okay, why don't we set one based on the expiration date, and Linda will vacate any other one?
September 12th is the expiration, so
Or the 11th.
you want to do the 11th?
Sure.
Motion to set the matter for status for September 11th. Yeah,
And to vacate
And-
any
and to vacate any
other status, yeah.
other statuses
Thank you.
that were issued.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter G, agreement with DBR Construction LLC, Jeff Callahan, regarding certain demolition liens on properties located at 7726 Belmont Avenue, 7618 Alexander Avenue, 3701 177th Place, and 2619 167th Street submitted for approval.
So once in a while, the law department gets requests to handle demolition liens that exist on the property, where you have like a subsequent purchaser, in this case on tax sale. The law's kind of, I don't want to say gray, in my opinion, I think we do have good liens, but we can go back and forth. And if someone's committed to building a single-family home and homes, and in this case it's a developer, and he's committed to, I think, 6, then we consider handling the liens a little differently, potentially waiving them, because obviously we want things back on the tax roll. So that's what we've done in this agreement. I'd request its approval as presented. There's an obligation for him to build the homes. If he doesn't, or if he transfers them, it's non-transferable to anyone else. It's just for this construction company.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter H, right-of-way permits received from engineering submitted for approval.
Good morning.
Morning, Mark.
We have 9 permits, 7 are NIPSCO. Good news is that they're doing some residential hookups to Clark Fields for the gas, so that's ongoing. 5711 Calumet is the cleaners. They're gonna set a well in there, and Mr. Novak's aware of this too. And all these have been through the water department, and they're aware of it all and gave their approval. So I would recommend approving this.
Thank you.
Motion to
Thank you.
approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter I, request for rental registration hearing and late business license hearing submitted for approval.
Motion to set the rental registration hearing for July 3rd, 2025, and a late business license registration, or late business license hearing for July 10th.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Letter J, disposal authorizations received from the Hammond Police Department submitted for approval.
Ton there.
We do good work. Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter K, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 10, old business. Letter A, status for 6333 Garfield. Good morning.
Oop, wrong file.
Okay.
If I could just set the record on this. Good morning to the board. Ms. Redfield last appeared before the board on May 22nd. And Mr. Luter asked for the fence and window to be resolved. Ms. Redfield agreed with the board that the $850 was going to be used for the windows first and then the siding. We talked about painting potentially instead of using siding. She preferred the siding, and we set it for June 26th today for status, and the board requested a timeline regarding the siding and the windows, and whether the windows was done yet or not.
Okay, and I'll let her and through the ASL translator speak, but she did send me an email late yesterday, I got this morning. She has a contract with the same company that did her chimney to replace the roof, or I'm sorry, replace the window. Window is simply on special order, so 3 weeks, a month, depending, to get that installed. And then she has to give us a decision on whether she chose to paint or side.
So, Ms. Redfield, at this point, we'd like to know if you decided you were going to paint or put up new siding.
I decided to go with painting. And I've already spoken with the person that gave me an estimate of how much everything is going to cost. So he will be sending that to me soon. So, okay, so I'm sorry, the estimate for the painting will be $857, round, $7,500 for the painting.
Okay,
All of the painting,
does she have any idea when she's going to be able to get that done?
I am waiting for him. I am waiting for him. He's gonna let me know. I already. Say it again, I'm sorry, I got this.
Sorry.
I've already asked for a loan. I'm sorry. First, we were given a loan for $10,000 to do everything outside to fix the house. So now we have the loan for 10. We have a loan for $12,500. This is the contract that I have.
So that's great news. The only thing I would say is that I think kind of the folks that are in the field a lot up here, when they heard the $7,500 for the painting, it sounded high. So I would encourage Ms. Redfield to potentially get a couple other quotes to make sure she's getting a good deal, because we want to make sure that, she's getting a fair and good quote for that work.
Bill, you said it was the same company that did the chimney.
For the
Did
window,
chimney.
for the
The
window.
window, I'm not sure if it's the same company can do the
Okay,
painting.
okay.
But I did, when I got her distracted, there's some wood, some of the cedar shake may have to be replaced on the outside where it's been rotted. There's some wood that may need to be replaced, which, till we see a contract, it's hard to say if they're just painting for $7,500 or are they doing, some minor, some other wood replacement.
Well, it's always good to get a couple quotes
Right,
anyway,
absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
so.
Ms. Redfield, does she have?
Hold on, I think she's
Well,
saying something. Hold on.
I've already signed for the loan. Yeah.
Okay, but has she considered getting a second quote just to make sure she's getting a fair price
Or is the loan with
with
the
that
contractor?
company? Yeah.
Okay, so let me just.
You take a look at that.
If she's already signed it, it might be
Yeah,
for that company.
because sometimes you get the financing through the
Through the
company
company, yeah.
contract.
Well, the loan is through Green Sky.
And is that the same company that you are doing the work with, that's going to do the painting?
So they already fixed the chimney. Is that the same company? Same company? Yes.
Is it the same company that's going to do the painting?
Company that's gonna paint? Same company, yes.
Okay, so that's why, so it's good.
So it looks like she's gonna, have Ivan's Roofing do all the work from
Yeah,
there.
that makes sense now.
Yep,
The
because they're going
price
to do the
makes sense.
financing
Yeah.
on it too. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, so we just need we want to.
I think the status for a little bit out, and then, I think it's good news and good progress.
Yeah.
30 days?
Yeah, 30, 45, whatever you think, Bill.
August 7th or July 31st?
Week difference, do August 7th.
August 7th?
Okay with that.
Okay. Ms. Redfield, we're going to set this for status for August 7th, 2025, and our hopes are by then that it is either completed or close to being completed. And that includes the window, guys? or
Yep.
that
Yeah, window should
Includes
be
the
fine.
window also?
Window and painting, yeah.
Window and painting.
Okay.
All right.
Fine, thank you.
Awesome,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Motion to
of you.
set the matter for status for August 7th, 2025.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, letter B, status for 4934 Ash.
4934 Ash, you may recall, these are the photos from last time. Just setting the record, Mr. Luter reported that they had just obtained the permit for the roof and siding, no interior yet, and the house was wrapped pursuant to these photos. It was set for status for today. We have a demolition order that was recorded on March 13th.
Before I go any further, I wanted to say how nice the board looks all coordinated in their pink today.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are
Thank
good.
you. We didn't even plan this.
We didn't plan it at all.
It's just weird.
Just weird.
As
We all sync together.
I need to apologize. I did not get by to see if they had finished the siding, but they haven't called for a final inspection on this property. There has still been no permit obtained to do any interior work, electrical, plumbing, or otherwise. I'm thinking maybe we need to have an order to appear for this owner.
Yeah, I think order to appear, and also, Bill, if you could by whenever that order to appear is, their rehab agreement expired June 6th.
Okay.
So we do want to get that extended if need be. So if we could get an order to appear maybe for a week or two.
Two, I'm thinking, just to be
2 weeks,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to set the matter for status for July 10th, 2025, and issue an order to appear.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Was that
Letter
July
C.
10th? I'm sorry, I missed
July
that. July
10th.
10th, thank
July
you.
10th, yeah.
Keep missing that.
Letter C, status for 847 117th.
Okay, I think we're all familiar with this property.
I don't see Mr. Sears
I
here.
don't see
this
Mr.
morning,
Sears
strange.
here,
I'm
which is
surprised he's here.
very surprising.
Yeah.
Can we set it for March 10th then, or I'm sorry,
July 10th?
July 10th? And I can't get that date right today. July 10th, and ask Mr. Sears, we'll make sure, Linda, that we get a letter to Mr. Sears
To
to
appear.
appear. Yeah.
Okay. Motion to set this matter for status for July 10th, 2025, and issue an order to appear.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, status for 6826 through 28 Kennedy Avenue.
This is the old Pioneer, is that, am I calling that right?
Yep.
Was it
Yes,
Pioneer
Pioneer
Tap?
Tap.
Yep.
Okay. We have an expiration date of July 1st on the rehab agreement, so I don't see the owner here. Is anybody here on Pioneer Tap?
No, I don't think
6826?
either.
No?
Have you
Okay.
talked to Soto?
Yeah, actually, I did speak with the contractor just last week on it, again, pushing to get things done. Because it's a commercial building, one of the things that has to be done before they can do any interior demo is an asbestos inspection. They contacted the company, the inspector that generally deals from that company with this area, had an accident, took a fall, did something, injured her knee, has not been able to come out and do the inspection and give the report. Don't have a timetable on when that's going to be. I think the next time I come, see if we can find somebody else to get this test done so we can get things moving forward. But they've posted the bond. They have every intent on fixing that property up and hopefully bringing a successful business to Hammond.
Yeah, the rehab agreement expires July 1st. However, I know that we had that kind of like back and forth for a while, so it wasn't entered by the board until May 1st. So we're kind of on a 60 versus a 90. So I have no problem giving them a little more time, but I know that, like, for example, the Kennedy Avenue corridor, has meetings in the mayor's office and every 6 weeks or so. And so
think we're
we're
due
going to
for
have to
August.
give a report to the mayor's office regarding this property soon. And I know this is one of those properties that we want to see some progress on, so I'm assuming Mr. Luter will speak to the contractor again, and hopefully we can get them in here. I would think maybe we give them 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
That's fine.
Like that.
Or that's same July 10th.
24th, July 24th,
I'm going to be out that week. If we could do the week before,
July 17th?
yeah.
July 17th, okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for July 17th, 2025.
I second.
Brantley Gilbert Day.
That's right.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, status for 1563 177th Street.
I spoke with Mr. Rhodes. You may recall that we had a discussion with him. He's now cleaning it and has purchased the property and is rehabbing. We have Mr. Kearney and Mr. Luter and I spoke, and they all have every belief that Mr. Rhodes will do as he usually does, which is a good job in the rehab. The issue is going to be the assignment, not the forfeiture of the bond. So it's been put up by the prior owner, and Mr. Rhodes has an agreement with the owner that we're not party to, nor do I want to be party to, regarding that bond. So what we're going to do is allow that to be assigned. I just have to get the correct paperwork over to Mr. Rhodes to let him assume that rehab agreement, and then we'll extend it, and then we'll also put some language in that agreement that allows the assignment of the bond over to Mr. Rhodes. And then once he's done and the money comes out of the controller's office, that's between him and the current and the old owner. So we're not going to forfeit the old owner's bond.
Okay.
We're going to allow it to be assigned over to Mr. Rhodes, but we're going to put some pretty clear language and have the old owner and Mr. Rhodes both sign that agreement.
Okay, so what do we need to do today?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was.
That's okay.
Didn't really give much direction. So I think what we need to do today is simply just set it over for status for maybe a 45-day. Yeah, 45-day just to check status.
That August 7th
Sure.
date?
Kevin might be blinded by the pink, I'm not sure.
I mean, some of it's magenta. So.
Motion to set the matter for status for August 7th, 2025.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 11, late rental registration hearings, letter A, 4326 Elm Street. Anybody here from 4326 Elm Street? Oh, that's,
I'm here on Zoom.
okay, sir, can you give us your name and your association with the property?
Dominic Costeris, I'm the owner.
Okay,
Good morning,
can you-
council.
Can you tell us what happened in 2024?
It must have been an oversight on my part. This is the first time it's ever happened. All I can say is, hey, I'm sorry. This is the first time.
Go ahead, Chris.
Mr. Costeris has owned the property since 2006, and he is correct that this is the first time that he has missed for the rental registration. So I recommend that we waive the late fee and allow him to register for 24 and then process his 25 registration as well.
Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye? Okay,
Aye.
sir. What's that again?
No, I said aye.
Okay, he has 30 days to come in and pay.
Yeah, I'll have some forms waiting for him in the office.
Okay, thanks for your time, sir.
Take care. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, just need a motion.
Yeah, I should have made the motion.
Oh, I'm
Want me to
sorry.
make it again?
Oh, no, yeah, just in case.
Okay. Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, okay, yeah, did I? I'm sorry. The meeting's now open to the public. Okay,
Hi.
It's a late rental registration. Good morning. I want to apologize. We missed our hearing set for June 5th. I was out of town. It's for the property at 3 Wolfham. I'm Katie Taylor. I represent the owner with Property Management, Inc. In Maryville. He received a fine. I have a receipt for 2024 that the property was registered with the city, and then we had registered it or attempted to in 2025, and it was kicked back. So I would like to be able to get that registered and have that $4,000 fine waived if possible.
we need somebody to look and make sure it was.
Sorry,
So as
you're
I
good.
no, that's okay. So as I understand it, what you're saying is that the city believed that it wasn't registered for 24, but you have proof that it was.
Correct.
Right.
Okay, yeah, let me see that.
Yep, absolutely. Uh-huh. I said
And what was the
Jordan-
address again, ma'am?
3 Wolfham.
3
I
Waltham.
was going to show this to Ms. Greenwell so she could take a look.
Thank you. I say we have several in Hammond that we register every year, so.
It appears to be an accurate receipt, and this property address is listed on there, so it might have just been an oversight on the listing. I'm not sure what happened, but I have no problem with,
So we need to withdraw the late fee?
yeah, or
Just
just.
waive the late fee?
Just wait. Yeah, but I don't want, I guess what I want to make sure is it doesn't show
I
that
don't
they
want that either,
got
yes.
like the one strike or whatever. So
Right,
I would
right.
just, I mean, I don't know if we dismiss it or just show that they were in compliance or something like that, so.
Okay. We'll just put that they were in compliance,
Yes, okay.
no late fee was
So-
required.
So motion to change the record of the property in question at 3 Waltham as being in compliance with the city's rental registration procedures.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then,
Thank-
is there a way for me to re-register, because it got kicked back for 2025? Is there a way for me to re-register that
Can you
today?
help her? Can you help her?
Yeah.
I know you were, I know.
Sorry.
Chris was like exit stage right. but,
So close. You
yeah.
almost
Yeah,
escaped.
we'll take care of it. We'll help.
Thank you
Somebody
so
help
much.
with that.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
thanks for being here. Yeah. Man, he was close. Okay, the meeting is still open to the public. Anybody else have anything they want to say?
Anybody to the public?
Okay.
Oh, there's Jake saying somebody over here. Somebody over here needs to speak?
If you want to come up, it's still open to the public.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here, my name is Tara Wilkerson. I live at 6931 Jackson. I'm coming in because Friday, we received notices that our block was going to be shut down for a block party. The problem is, no one was notified until Friday. I come up here Friday to find out what was going on, and Linda was not in her office Friday, so I had to call her Monday and ask why wasn't the neighborhood notified with the person that's throwing it coming around letting us know. Everybody has made plans for the 4th, and now we're hearing that our street is going to be completely shut down, no access unless it's fire trucks and emergency vehicles. I have plans, my neighbors have plans. We had no idea this was going on until Friday. When I called, I was told that you don't necessarily need signatures. It was an oversight, it's already been approved. Well, I got signatures of people that are having events in our neighborhood that doesn't want our street blocked off. Because with it being blocked off, we have to find parking in other areas from our homes. I'm a double knee replacement. I can't walk 3 blocks. It's going to be on the 4th, everybody's gonna have people over parking in other areas. So we have to walk, say my guests have to find somewhere to walk, park, and then walk to my house. This is gonna be for like 10, 12 hours, they want the street shut down. I just don't think it's fair that we.
Kevin, can you possibly give us that list right?
Sure.
Don't think it's fair that we weren't notified at all until we get a letter in our box saying it's already been approved.
Yeah, I get it.
We're going to compare the list.
It's supposed to be for the safety of the children, but the only children we have that small is
Let them just check the list real quick.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
that's
but I just
okay.
don't want them, I want them to be able to hear you.
Yes.
Because those are important points
Absolutely.
and things like that.
So what we have here is we have your list saying of people that don't want it.
Don't want it.
We have signatures from her of people saying they do want it, and there's a couple addresses that are the same on both lists.
Okay,
So I
the
don't
thing
know.
is, she didn't get that list going until I complained. When I complained, I guess she got a phone call saying that she needed signatures, and then she ran around the neighborhood, and she's also telling people that they could come and go as they pleased. But the letter she put out said absolutely no coming or going except for emergency vehicles.
Is this the first time this has occurred in the neighborhood, or is
Yes,
this a new?
I've been
This is
there
a new.
24
You've been there
years,
24 years.
and
This is a
it's
new
never-
party. New
I
party,
think
new
they've been
thing.
there like 3 or 4 years.
Gotcha. Okay, so it hasn't been blocked off like every year. This
No,
isn't like an
it's
annual
never been
event.
blocked
Gotcha.
off.
Okay.
We have a lot of seniors in that area.
Okay.
A
Yep.
lot.
Yep. And I think there's one other neighbor here that's here to speak on this as well. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay, so, did you understand what there's signatures on both lists that are the same, from
Okay,
the same address?
so I reached out to the city wanting information on how to do this because I've never done it before. And I followed all of the instructions that they gave me. They did not tell me I needed signatures beforehand. So then they called me after it was already approved, telling me it would probably be appealed today and to get signatures if I could, which I went and did right away. We have this party every year. I just wanted the street closed for extra safety. There's more kids on the block now than there was before. It's a party where we also have friends over that have more little ones than they used to. Yeah, so it was not to be rude or upset any of the neighbors that I didn't get signatures beforehand. I wasn't made aware of that.
So I guess the question is there a compromise here? How did you intend to close off both
Also-
ends of the street?
when I said that I had never done this before, I gave options. I said, of course, having the whole street would be great, but I don't know if that's appropriate. So I also said maybe my house, the 2 beside me, and the 3 directly across the street. They went ahead and said the full street. I don't know what the compromise would be because she's directly across the street from me.
Who said the whole street? Who's they?
Whoever approved it.
Her
Oh, that-
letter, can I say something?
Yes.
Her letter did indicate 2 options. One was to close the street, and then the other one was in front of her house. When I did the agenda, I only requested the full street. That week, there were probably about 6 requests for closures. Hers, I did not request for signatures. So that's correct of what she said. So initially, she didn't get signatures because I didn't tell her.
Not required, but
asked
we
for
prefer them, because that lets us know
So
they're.
that was my, not telling her that. And then when the other lady called about, about this, then I kind of had to say, well, this is what we normally do,
And I
up to the board.
apologize if my letter didn't come off well. We had every intention of helping neighbors get in and out as they needed to. I had Google help me write the letter because, to be quite honest, I didn't think the city was very much help with me wanting to do this.
So here's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to find, everybody wants to be neighborly, have parties with their neighbors. We're just trying to find a way that it's convenient for you, safe for you, and also convenient for people that need to get to their house. I guess the important thing, ma'am, for you is that she didn't know about the signature. So that was something she did after she was told to do it, that maybe she needed to do it. So I guess I'm asking both of you, if we close both ends of the street, is there somebody there that can let people that live there or their guests?
Yes, my
enter
husband and
and
I would
exit?
help everyone. And when we went around to get signatures, we let people know that we would do that, but she wouldn't answer the door for me.
Well, that's going to be, so the question though, you said other people are going to be coming to the neighborhood, so that's going to take up parking.
Well, I told my friends and family to park somewhere else and then walk down, and nobody had a problem with that.
It's totally different now, because like I said, she made bold statements on that letter saying what this means is no one would be allowed in and out. There's seniors there, I have people coming over, the neighborhood's already gonna be packed. If she didn't know about the signatures, I understand that. Common courtesy, walk the neighborhood just like she did when she knew she needed signatures. Walk the neighborhood and say, hey, do you mind, we're gonna shut down the block. She didn't ask nobody until the last minute when she knew that I had a petition, because I had spoke to her and told her I had a petition. That's when she started asking. I don't think it's fair that everybody has to change plans, have their friends park elsewhere just because they want to shut the neighborhood down. Like I said, I've been there 24 years. There's not more kids in our neighborhood now than there was before. I watched the neighborhood grow up. Her house has more kids. The house next door has few teenagers. They just moved in. There's no other children, like she's saying, for safety other than her household. So it's basically a private party for her and her friends. Yeah, the neighborhood can come if they want to, but what about our plans? She did not walk around and even give us common consideration for this party. And that's all it would have taken is...
Okay.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah.
So just, this is, I think, the 6900 block of Jackson, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Yes.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, where are like the homes located? Or are you on the middle
Both
of the
of
block?
us are right in the middle of the block, right across from each other.
Got it.
And I did what the city asked me to do. This is out of safety of the children on what is one of the deadliest holidays of the year. And there are more children on the block than my own. I have 2 kids. The house next door does have a few teenagers. They also have 2 little ones that are not even school-aged yet. And then the house next to them has 2 little ones who are not school-aged yet. There's an elementary-aged girl on her side of the block as well. And other neighbors that are having their grandkids over
Yeah, I mean,
thanked me and thought it was a good idea too.
I think obviously, you know, we have a lot of streets in the city and a lot of kids everywhere. So it's, to me, it's more just about like, how do we accommodate everybody's desire to have a good time on the 4th, have fun, not have issues, and, you know, and it's a tough one because you guys happen to both be across the street from each other right in the middle of the block. So, but I do want to say, and I mean, President of the Board is a police officer, so he knows that July 4th is a challenge around the city. And even though we do have several streets that do get blocked off, most streets are not, right? I mean, the overwhelming majority are not. And we try to accommodate requests when we get them. So I don't know if there can be a middle ground here. I guess
It does, it doesn't sound like it, and there's signatures from the same address on both. So it's putting us in a very bad situation here, because there's actually more signatures against than there is for. And again, there's 2 or 3 addresses that are the same, so.
The only thing I can think of is if you want to reset it for next week and then make it, maybe they can try to work something out in the neighborhood between now and then. If that's impossible, then the board's going to have to be forced to make a decision. I know that's kind of tight on time because we're talking about the
day before. The day
It's
before.
Friday.
So I don't know.
My question is, did you guys request Public Works for barricades to block off the street too?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think as we sit here today that there's a compromise that can be made. And I also, like I said, we have the issue of signatures there's on both of them. So I feel at this time we can't grant the permission for it. I'm sorry that there couldn't be a compromise made, but from looking at it from our perspective, there's really nothing we can do when we have signatures from neighbors going to for and against. And like I said, it looks like there's more against than for. So unfortunately, we're probably going to have to withdraw that permission for that part. So, and I apologize for that. I also apologize how this went down. Again, we should have.
I'm really not happy with
I
this
understand.
decision. It was approved without me knowing I needed signatures. And it's one of the deadliest holidays of the year, and there are a lot of kids on the block. I need something in front of my house. There's gonna be a bounce house out front.
That's
There's gonna be
directly
a
in
lot
front of
of
my
kids.
house, though. No bounce house in front of my house.
I live there too.
Well, I understand you're not happy, ma'am, and you have
So
every right not to be
what can I
happy.
do to make it safer?
I don't know unless unless we closed half the street to the address, to right before your address or something, and if she's willing to be okay with that. We don't have many options here, that's the problem.
I mean, I know she isn't able to walk far, but with our houses being directly across from each other, can somewhat of that area be blocked off and her car be slightly down the street?
No, I'm not walking down the street. No, I'm not.
Okay, we are going to make a motion to deny the request, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make a motion to amend a prior approval for a block party for the 6900 block of Jackson that was made at our last meeting, and a motion to deny that request based on the information that we have presented today.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Sorry, ma'am. Yep, the meeting is still open to the public. Anybody else have anything they want to say? Okay. Ma'am, over here if you could. Thank you.
I just had a quick question.
Could you give us your name and address, please?
Shelley Sanchez, 3828 Torrance Avenue, but it's under my mother, Rosemary Hernandez.
Okay.
And I just had a quick question. Would the city say anything if we decided to leave that area open, or, because like since the garage was there and the other half was gate, I wanted to know if the city would let us, like if we decided to have it all open, or do we have to, if we decide to put
I don't mean
the
to interrupt you, ma'am. I think this is on one of the garage demos on, is it on Pine?
Yeah. No,
Torrance, I'm sorry, in Torrance. You already knocked it down, right?
Right, but I just wanted to know, like, if we decide to, like, leave that space open, or if we decide to put up another gate.
You can, okay, so if you put a fence up, you need to request a permit downstairs for a
Right.
permit. If you want to leave it open, that's up to you. And I think you just have to check with Mr. Castro about whether you want to keep that concrete pad for parking or some other use.
Is any consideration for another garage? Is that what you were about to ask?
Oh, no, I just
Okay.
wanted to know if, just didn't want to get in trouble if we decided to leave the area open or,
Okay.
because I'm thinking about putting up another gate, because like when the garage was knocked down, it like bent down the gate that we had. So, and then I'm deciding just to put like the whole gate right across.
Yeah, you can do a fence or a gate. You just have to make sure if there's a permit needed for a fence permit. You just have to go to City Hall in the basement for a fence permit. And they'll let you know whether you need one or not,
Oh,
once you get the plans. Okay?
okay. That was my only question.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks for getting it knocked down. We appreciate that. All right.
Okay, the meeting's still open to the public. I don't see any public, so, okay.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.